Hello, and I wanted to talk about self-love, but when I was thinking about it earlier, I just started writing loads and loads of stuff. So I thought, instead of talking and probably forgetting something very important that I channeled earlier, I thought I'd share it with you now. Self-love. Everyone has their own dreams. Every person in your past has a relationship, one way or another, makes you the person you are today. It has only been through challenges that you face together that you get stronger in yourself and in many relationships to come. The people who we lose always leave a grain of truth about themselves in our hearts, and thus see in similarity ourselves. That in itself is love. We always leave something behind of ourselves wherever we go. Every action that you do has a purpose. Sometimes you're just not aware of it. You will always hold on to that love that you have been torn away from. Through heartache, their love and their essence and their learning that you both had will forever be in your soul. It feels painful because you have been peeling away the layers surrounding your heart since the start of knowing that person. For them to get closer, it has been a very challenging thing to do. It isn't meant to be painful, but after every relationship you make it easier for someone to come closer because you know more about yourself every time. All this is just a step closer towards loving yourself and knowing more of who you are and more of your physical body as well as your spiritual. We go through our days thinking we know the ultimate us. That is because we are always trapped in habit. When we are questioned about our being, we are then only ever aware. You can only truly know more of yourself when you allow another person to reach that soul part of you that no one else sees, your inner core, your being, your true self. It is an essence, it's your whole being, enraptured in love and light. The people we meet and lose, we never lose completely, because they are the people who make us who we are today. We choose the life we have by our actions, and thus choose the people in our lives around us. Everyone leaves a grain of truth in our hearts, and we leave some in theirs too. It is something that works both ways. It's a chemical process of awareness to help one another. That is love in itself. If you don't allow another person to come close to you, then you are not looking after yourself, and thus you don't love yourself. A friend, family member, or a possible partner comes close to you to look after you. If you don't allow this, you are not looking after yourself, because your mind, body and spirit needs nurturing, physically, mentally and emotionally. When a person learns to let go of someone in the name of love, it is like a mother letting go of her children from the nest, knowing unconditionally that they have everything to carry on. It is the same in relationships. If we truly love them unconditionally, we have them knowing they have found our love for that right moment. That two people come together for a purpose, and when that purpose has been fulfilled, then it is time to fly away. Every step of the way, either in a relationship or lovers, in friendship or enemies, we are always one step closer to finding our true partner and the partnership we have in ourselves. When we break away from a relationship, we feel like we are lost. We have lost a part of us also, as well as them. This is because we are so connected in oneness with that person. They were and still are a part of a spark from the Creator, the same as yourself. A similarity that you share that is so deep to the core that those two cores meet eye to eye, heart to heart. When we meet a person, we have a close relationship, either as a friend or a lover. We feel that oneness so close to us. We feel their being, we feel their core essence. They are then a part of us, never apart from us. When we lose someone through heartache or a death, we feel like we have had that person taken away from us. It's like when a fire has gone out. There is no flame, but the essence of that flame, the heat, is always still there. If you are still hurting inside, you are only human. If you are refusing to let go, not to be emotional and to release, then you are denying your true human nature and your God-given potential. Consciousness is not conscious of itself unless it is emotionally aware of itself, which is why the physical is so important. To feel that physicalness, a hug is so important because we are physical too. It's a state of mind, body and spirit balanced together. It's like a state of mind to feel physically loved. and to be physically loved soothe the mind to be in love together, and to feel mentally cared for. This also is love to your spirit, love to your mind, love to your body. You can say you love someone over a long distance, but it never fulfills all three aspects of mind, body and spirit. For physical needs physical, mind needs mind, spirit needs spirit. To feel incompleteness with another. All these three aspects of yourself need fulfilling. However, what you have as yourself, you have all these three aspects. It's just a matter of feeling the pulse of love flowing inwards towards yourself, unconditionally, without effort. You just are love. Never hide your feelings. What you're feeling right now is for you and you only. It's either for you to learn to be aware of. If you are conscious of your feelings, then your feelings are aware of your consciousness. Only you can help change you, but you are you are your own driving force. So there's no point arguing with yourself. You can only do, not do without. Whatever heartache you're going through, it just takes time. You are like a bottle of champagne being bottled up for some time. It has been bottled up all that time in preservatives, and when you are releasing, you are wanting that to release to pop open. So when you do, it feels like the bottle has just been opened, and all this emotional energy pouring out. It will only stop fizzing when you leave the top off and let it come out. And what happens if you keep bottling these feelings up? It's going to stay fizzy inside. A little bit at a time, the release will come to the surface one way or another. If this all happened to you overnight, you would have been an emotional mess. Your bottle of champagne would have been an exploded bottle. If another heartache came by and shook you up, you would be damaged and broken. Although you may be feeling like this now, I can assure you that it just takes time. It's just lucky that you are human. And as a biological being, you are a rejuvenating and healing all the time. You are a walking, glowing, rejuvenating machine of love. It's not about where you're going, it's about how far you have gone. It's therefore better to have been loved than never loved at all. All these emotions that you may feel is love. Just think about it, all those past lives you have had, not dealing with self-love then. You just lived, then died every time, never dealing with your karma. You might never had a proper spiritual life until now, and you have decided to release everything in this time, let alone releasing all your karma from your early childhood. That's like asking 1,000 people to line up in front of you and to release all their karma at once. Step by step, day by day, it just takes time. Time, therefore, is only a healer. If you give yourself time, you will succeed. It's like in anything. If you are seeking unconditional love for yourself, self-love is not something that you try forcefully to achieve. You don't force yourself to heal yourself. You just know it will take a little bit of time for that wound to heal, but you never force it. Forcing and playing with a cut just makes the injury worse. You can also not force love upon someone else, so why do it to yourself? The only thing you can force control over is self-control, having control of your emotions and letting go. Self-love is something you can always have inside of you. It is unconditional. You don't have to try to do it. You just are. You will never break your own heart. You can always love yourself more every day and protect your core being, and even trust yourself. It is the only thing that will never be taken away from you unless you choose to hurt yourself emotionally, which is something quite hard to do. So why try and do the hardest thing to yourself? Do the easy thing. Just be unconditional. Just be in oneness with yourself, in harmony. With this, you can only look after yourself. You can only look after your mind, body and spirit. It all needs looking after. Having a healthy, balanced life can support all these important parts that make up you. More importantly, what you have to understand is that you don't have this body forever. What you feel about you on the outside is merely not as important as what you carry with you for all eternity on the inside. You are just an energy, a consciousness. Consciousness never dies. It is an energy. It can only grow or pass on the energy, like the flame of a candle lighting a wick to pass on the light. A flame is not a flame unless it has all the right ingredients. oxygen, fuel and heat. What passes the flame around is merely just a tiny spark of light. What helps that fuel spread is union of matter. Acceptance comes into it all to be lit. The same as spreading love. Spreading love is just like that little spark of just love to spread the light and oneness. Acceptance of yourself to grow in lightness and to expand as a light, just like our sun, forever glowing, forever feeding itself. However, we know that stars don't last forever, but this is just a likeness. It's just an analogy. Your light will only diminish if you think of yourself as cold, without the desire to carry on. What someone sees in another is what's inside. That caring personality, it's inside. The love, the time they have for another, for each other, it's a survival instinct to know and to be cared for. Everything you have is inside of you and will always be there. Some may dismiss the word of concept of love. This might be because they are not ready to open up, but I am sure there might come a time in their life to experience this. Whatever you are feeling, I am just asking you to take time out for yourself, to protect your inner core of who you really are, to love fully forever, knowing that no one can ever take that away from you, but really you should know this yourself. So I thought I'd want to share that with you. It's something I read, and I just wanted to share that with you because I wanted to get it out there, because I'm sure it makes sense to someone and hopefully it will help them. So thanks for listening.